That can be done in other because we. We can do it.
Yes, okay. And here, answer. Five thirty.
Okay. I don't do. Actually, talk to them.
That's good. Ready. I'm ready, sir. I'm ready, sir. I'm ready, sir.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Today is Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. It is approximately 5:31 p.m. and I call this meeting to order. This being the Laredo College District Finance and Audit Committee meeting. I will proceed with roll call. Jorge Delgado, present. Esteban Rangel,
Present.
Karina Elizondo, absent. Tita Vela. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 3, which is the January 2024 financial report. Ms. Linda Gomez.
Good afternoon, members of the Finance and Audit Committee and President Ramirez. For the record, my name is Linda Gomez, Director of Accounting. Today, I'm here to present the January 2024 financial report. General operating revenues. So far, we're in 5 months into the year and we've collected 87.6% of our budget of 71.9 million, which translates to $63,060,565, of which state funding, we've collected the first payment of 9.5 million. And local taxes, we've collected 85.7% of our budget, which translates to $37,132. $37,132,101. I'm sorry, $37,132,101. Sorry.
No worries, you're doing great.
Okay. Any questions on revenue? Operating expenses, as I said, we're 5 months into the year. We've expended 36.85% of our budget, which translates to $26,518,632 out of a 71.9 million budget. We still have 7 more months to go, so that's going to change for the end of the year. On our auxiliary funds, the import-export, we have revenues of $141,164, which is the state appropriations that we received, the lump sum, on September the 1st. We have expenditures of $25,360, which comes to a net change to the fund balance of $115,804. Auxiliary services, we have collected 1.4 million of revenue, which is 89.9% of the budget of 1.5. We have expenditures of 596,247, which comes to a net change to the fund balance of 827,900. On the restricted funds, since it's a reimbursement request, the revenue and expenses are always equal. As we spend, we get reimbursed. So it's a total of $13.6 million. The facilities master plan phase 3, we started with a beginning balance of $12,850,537. Interest revenue, we've collected so far $255,189 for the first 5 months. We have expenditures of $3,524,728, which is a net change of $3,269,539, which brings a balance at August 31st, 2024 of $9,580,998. Any questions so far? On the tax collection for the M&O, as of January, we've collected 80.32% of our levy of $36,913,937. There is a typo here at the bottom where it says total on the first column. It says 110 million, and that should be 36 million. So sorry for that.
Chair recognizes, legal counsel.
Yeah, Mr. President, sorry to interrupt the discussion, but I did want to make a comment about that particular figure. So committee members heard before
Is your mic on?
the taxes for the current year become delinquent on February 1. And this information that's being presented to you is from the Webb County Tax Assessor. And so it's current through January 31 of this year. The collection rate that's reported by the tax assessor is 80.32%. And again, up to January 31, the taxes were not delinquent. So we're starting to collect delinquent taxes February 1. But last year at the same time, the collection rate was 84.99%, so almost 5% higher. And then the year before was almost 84%. We're trying to find out just why, there was that decrease on the part of the tax assessor, but we're monitoring that closely as we always do to look on a month-by-month basis at that rate.
Thank you.
And that's all. Sorry about the interruption.
No, thank you. Chair recognizes Dr. Ramirez.
And there is one, I think one difference is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Muir, but in the previous years, we were allowed to add an additional fee that this year we weren't allowed. And so instead of waiting until after April, right? When did we actually apply the fees originally?
Well, there's the interest, and those start accumulating on February 1. And then the collection fee, it's the attorney collection fee, that is, comes into play on July.
And so
That's-
previous years, we were allowed, or locally, we were allowed to do that starting in January, and this year we were not. By our local tax collector. So I just want to throw it out there that that does not fall on them, that fell on the office of the tax collector.
Chair recognizes Mr. Rangel.
Thank you. And do you think that's the reason of that big of a gap?
I think that
Because it's kind of,
I think there were people who didn't feel the pinch. And who
Okay.
felt like they had until
That's-
July. to
yeah,
act-
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And had we been allowed to assess that prior to, the county is going through the same thing. And they didn't allow the county to do it either. And
Okay.
so we had a great deal of discussion as to why. And it was their decision not to let our tax contractors or attorneys that collect our taxes to do that. And I know that we had numerous discussions, and they had numerous discussions, not only with the county assessor, but tax assessor, but also with the county judge, and it became an issue.
And no notice was sent? I don't know, I'm just saying, if we're allowed, so notices were sent with the new changes,
Eventually, yes. But
eventually,
not-
or?
No, they sent out notices from the county's office, but there wasn't that additional.
That's right, it wasn't,
Attorney's fees
that-
were
that-
not allowed to.
that
be
clause was
assessed.
not there,
In litigation.
okay.
Chair recognizes Dr. Rustin.
And if I could just add a little bit to that, Dr. Ramirez may have some knowledge of this too. But we visited last year, June, July, August, and a couple times even after that with the Webb County's tax attorney.
Mhm.
And we talked about these issues because Webb County's has also seen, last year we saw an increase in the collection rate here. Webb County has seen something similar. So we questioned, what is happening? Why is that happening? They're both raising the issue with the Webb County tax assessor. We're gonna stay on top of it and
So you'll be able to catch this for the following.
we need to.
Just-
catch-
Well, if they let us,
Yeah.
I mean, I mean,
I mean.
is
the
it
other
something
option-
that you need to get in writing to Rusty from them?
Their position again is that in lawsuits filed before July 1 for current years, the attorney fees aren't allowed, and they're wrong about that, and we have a request for an attorney general opinion, frame the question, and or hope to get that in about 90 days, but that's okay, we're still, the point is that I am concerned that last year was a percentage point or two below the prior years. And we want to do everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen. That's going to require some cooperation on the part of the Webb County tax assessor.
Yeah, because honestly, it's a big gap.
Yeah, it's a big gap.
It
It's
is.
a gap.
I would understand a point or two,
Yeah, I
max,
know.
but I mean, you're looking at five.
Look at last
Yeah, that's
month's gap, it was 15-20%.
Oh.
I was in shock.
Yeah, that's what I just told VP the guy, like, it's too much of a gap.
And if you look at what our school districts do, because both of them have the ability to do that. Their rates haven't changed,
Hmm.
their rate of collection hasn't changed. But they are doing exactly what Mr. Muir's office used to do and what the county used to do, frankly. And this year that they didn't assess that fee, their collections went down. I mean, our collections went down, but the school districts did not. Now, we contract the school, the college, you all, we contract the Webb County tax appraisal to the tax assessor to collect our taxes.
Mhm.
We have options.
How often is that contract reviewed?
It was signed a couple of years ago, and I think it expires in about a year. I'll visit with Dr. Ramirez about it,
Have
but it-
you-
you don't
I
have
think
too
it's
much
a
time
five,
left.
I think it's a 5-year contract.
Oh, is it?
I think I have a contract, a copy of the contract.
Can you look
And
at that,
I
Dr.
think that
Ramirez?
you can terminate it in time.
And then,
Sufficient.
One at a time,
Yes.
please. Mr. Rangel?
yeah, I think it's important that we look at that contract and then probably have a meeting with our tax assessor. And that way it's either figure things out, iron it out, because it's too big of a gap, and it's hurting the college.
Yeah.
It is.
So, but that's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Ramirez. Thank you, Rusty.
Yes, sir.
You may continue, Ms. Gomez.
And then we have the general operating fund balance. Like I said, we're 5 months into it. At the end of January 31st, 2024, we have a fund balance of $40,371,850. This is going to change because we still have 7 months to go.
Right.
Chair recognizes Dr. Ramirez.
Yes, sir. One of the things we did not account for in our budget, as you all know, with the addition of our FAST program, which is what the state now gives us to support our dual credit program in the public schools, and for that reason, we're able to now offer dual credit for free to the school districts. We were notified last week that the amount that we're scheduled to receive, and it's ready to be downloaded. We're just trying to figure out what account we're gonna put it in, but we need to download it by the end of this week. Is $1.2 million. That was not actually budgeted in our budget, but we're gonna use that to offset the cost of all of our dual credit programs, just so that you all know. But we didn't know, because this was the first time we were doing that, we didn't know what to expect. So now we do, which is a good thing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we had initially budgeted $1 million in total for the dual enrollment program, or that was gonna be offset?
It was $1 million, but that was what the school districts, if our instructors would teach
Each over there.
over there. We had about $1 million
But the majority of our courses are being taught by their teachers. Now, we do have some.
Yeah.
That are still going out to the schools in some of the subject areas where they don't have certified teachers. They can teach college level courses.
Right.
And so we do have some, but this money will help us offset some of the loss there
Mhm.
and will support our general budget. But we're working, by Friday, we should download that money.
Any other questions from members of the committee?
Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Ms.
I know, I have one more.
Investment?
Yes. Well, it's the second one. It's the quarterly.
Oh, that's,
report.
okay, gotcha, just kidding. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 4, November 2023 quarterly investment report.
Okay, the quarterly investment report for as of November 30th, 2023. We have bank deposits of $93,882,352. We have investment pools of $20,026,744, which brings us to a total investment deposits of $113,909.96. The on-demand deposit yield, which are bank deposits, we're earning 4.53%. Lone Star investment pool yields 5.65%, and the FIT investment pool yields 5.56%.
Any questions from members of the committee?
Mhm.
All right, thank you, Ms. Gomez.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 5, which is the approval of contract for moving services. Dr. David Arriaga.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Ramirez, David Arzola, Vice President of Compliance and Risk Management for the record. Standing in for Mr. Vela today, I'm truly like a substitute teacher. I know the lesson plan. Please don't ask me any of the details. But, so, an RFP was sent out, on January 8th, and proposals were due on February 2nd for, a movers contract. So these are people who we use internally, but we need to move either the staff from one office to another, and especially property inventory, and then the staff that we have on staff on a regular basis are sometimes they do get busy doing other things. So we have a contract with these movers, just to kind of alleviate some of the work, right? So 2 vendors submitted proposals by the due date of February 2nd, 2024. And this was for a 1-year contract with a possibility to extend an additional 2 years. The 2 vendors were Right Way Moving and Davis Moving and Clean, I'm sorry. The proposals were evaluated, and the 2 proposals were ranked, and the recommendation is to move towards using Right Way Moving. It's a company we have an existing partnership with. We're satisfied with the work that they do and the service they provide the college, and they give the college the best value.
So Right Way Moving has already been doing work.
Yes.
Any questions from? Yeah, thank you, please. Oh, just kidding.
I like that. I don't know if you can, Doc. Is there a range of money that we're dumping into this item number 5? No, it doesn't. It's just don't quote us at what we want to do.
As needed.
So they quote us by the hour,
Okay,
and depending on when we need them,
so we don't have like a budget limited, a limited budget.
I think there is in the regular budget.
He's stationing for the records.
I know, Doc.
For the record,
Don't ask questions.
there is a budget, but it says as needed. I
Okay,
mean, they're not gonna be here.
no, I
24/7.
understand.
It's as needed.
That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 6, which is the approval to purchase equipment for Media Center Department. Mr. Alvarez.
Good evening, members and Chair of the Finance Committee. For the record, Albert Chavez, Associate Vice President for Information Technology. For this particular item, we're requesting approval to purchase 5 portable wireless acoustic microphone sets. This purchase will be completed through the vendor Audiovisual Aids using by board contract 644-21. The total cost of the equipment is $56,390. These microphones are very similar to the ones that are in front of your tables. They will be used for events and functions at the campus. It's the total, combined with all these, each set has 5 microphones. So it's a total of 25 microphones for the purchase.
Very cool.
And they come with a portable case to put the equipment for moving purposes, batteries and the accessories needed to make all the connections.
Cool. Any questions? No. Thank you, Mr. Chavez.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 7, which is the approval of matching funds required for a grant application to the U.S. Department of Justice Bulletproof Vest Partnership Program to be submitted for Laredo College by the Grants Department. The U.S. Department of Justice Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant application requires $12,500 in cash matching funds over a 3-year grant period. Dr. Daniel Ortiz and Mr. Gabriel Lozano.
Good afternoon, Finance and Audit Committee members, President Ramirez, administration and staff. For the record, my name is Dr. Diana Ortiz and I'm the Vice President of Institutional Advancement. Today, I'm seeking approval for matching funds required for the grant application to the United States Department of Justice for Bulletproof Vests Partnership Program. This program will provide 22 bulletproof vests in the total of $25,000. We are seeking $12,500 from the campus here to match in funds. The Department of Justice will put in the additional $12,500 and then they will receive a reimbursement for that amount. We will put in the $12,500 and we are seeking to get these funds from the restricted grants accounts to transfer into the federal direct grant account in the amount of $12,500. The Patrick Leahy Bulletproof Vest Partnership reimburses state units of local government and federally recognized Indian tribes for up to 50% of the cost of body armors purchased by law enforcement officers. Since 1999, over 13,000 jurisdictions have participated in this program, with a total of $573 million in federal funds being distributed for this. So we're asking that you consider and approve the $12,500 for this request.
No problem.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you, Dr. Ortiz.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 8, approval of resolution requesting that the Laredo College Board of Trustees approve the submission of a grant application for a total of $300,000 in grant funding by the Laredo College Grants Office for the 2024-2025 Laredo College Police Department Equipment Enhancement Project, the State of Texas, Office of the Governor, Public Safety Office. Dr. Daniel Ortiz. You're fine.
Good afternoon, once again, Dr. Diana Ortiz for the record, Vice President of Institutional Advancement. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I am seeking approval for the resolution requesting that the Laredo College Board of Trustees approve the submission of a grant application for the total of $300,000 in grant funding by the Laredo College Grant Office for a 2024-2025 grant that would go towards the Laredo College Police Department equipment to enhance their current equipment that they have. Right now, we are seeking the resolution and we are asking that the board approve the attached resolution for the submission of the grant application. I believe that the resolution does have to be read during the board meeting, but we are just seeking approval to be able to proceed with the application.
Very good, thank you.
And you could see the resolution
Yeah, the resolution's here.
And this will be read out in the regular board.
at the regular board meeting.
So does that mean that we'd have to pull it out of consent to read it, or?
No, the president will read the
We'll read it
resolution,
along with the,
and then you all agree or disagree, yeah.
That is correct.
And we did this at the last meeting for a
Yes.
different grant, so
Yes.
I remember there's two vests that they wear, the one they wear under their clothing and
Yes.
the one they wear
on
on top.
And this is to apply for that.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Ortiz. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 9, approval to continue providing the dual enrollment program at no cost. Ms. Jessica Trevino and Mr. Julio Reyes.
Good afternoon, board members, Dr. Ramirez, Jessica Trevino, Associate Vice President of Enrollment Management for the record.
Julio Reyes, Director of Recruitment and Dual Enrollment.
So this afternoon, we're asking for your consideration to renew the previously approved waiver of tuition and fee charges for all dual credit students for the academic years where fast funding is available to the institution. In your packets, you did receive a comparison for budgetary considerations, as Dr. Ramirez did mention. We are in line with download because we already have them. $1,230,955 for funds receiving from the FAST program for the fall 2023 dual enrollment students. This does not include yet spring 2024 enrollment, which is higher. We just finalized computing the numbers for spring 2024, and we submitted a total of 5,152 students for consideration, which is almost 1,000 students more. And we have received back already today, a couple of minutes ago, preliminary numbers that 4,157 students are eligible to receive FAST funding. So that's another almost 1.2 million in line to be received for spring. We did also compute for you for comparison purposes only the 22-23 invoicing or billing that we would have billed the districts, and that puts us at 860,438. So we would have charged the districts less than what we received solely for fall funding. And we've already computed what we would have charged the district if we would have done fall 2023. And that would have only put us at 396,220. So we're getting a lot more than what we would have billed the districts for. So the request is for consideration to approve the dual enrollment FAST program and the fee waiver for the courses as long as FAST funding is received by the institution.
Very nice.
Any questions?
very good.
No, sure.
Thank you very much. Great job. Thank you so much, especially for the up-to-date information.
Yeah,
Couple minutes ago, sir.
right off the wire.
All right, it is approximately 5:59 and we will adjourn the Finance and Audit Committee meeting. Thank you, everybody.